I'm Rohit, and it's time for yet another edition of Founders Frequency. This is, of course, in association with Thai Bangalore chapter. And joining me today is someone who is doing wonders for the community. I've got Ramkrishna Ganesh, who's the founder of Plog.run. So, welcome to IndigoMusic.com.
Hey, thank you, Rohit.
First of all, tell me, Plog.run, what is it all about, and what are you trying to achieve with this entire startup?
So Plug.run is a new initiative that I've been doing this for close to about 7 years, but as a portal, this is a new initiative, new startup that I've started. The whole idea of Plug.run is a community portal for people to create, cleanliness drive across anywhere in the world.
Right?
They can log in, create their own event, find out the new waste management companies around, and basically collect all the waste and hand it over to them so they can recycle it.
Okay.
So plugging as a concept was started in Sweden, and this was more about jogging and picking up trash. So I've been one of the initial starter in India. So when I started off at the beautiful place called Nandi Hills,
Hmm.
one of the days I was just walking around and I was picking trash, and then I realized a lot of trash that, including us, some are realized, some are not realized. They just throw the trash. And most of the trash actually lies around because none of them are degradable, so they are there for a long time. So whole idea is to pick up the trash and find a dustbin or find a recycler to give it to them so that it can be recycled, so it's not left in the nature.
Right. And when you talk about recycling, what are some of the possibilities that can emerge after you've picked up the trash from let's say Nandi Hills and it goes to a recycle? What are some of the possibilities that can be, what can be made out of them?
So Rohit, there is so much you can do out of it. Everything, pretty much can be recycled,
Yeah.
except thin plastic that is used in chocolate papers and everything. Otherwise, everything can be recycled. Bottles can be recycled to many use today, and the plastic bottles of the water bottles can be recycled and made it to a bench which can be given to schools, or can be installed in the park. So it can made it to some use, which is more sustainable, more economical, and also something which common people can use it. For example, the whole park, you can put all the benches. It kind of helps even on the streets you can put, and it's a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah. And tell me about how the economics work when, for example, with Plog.run, right? Like, how are you doing this to, obviously be profitable, or how does it work?
So this is not a profitable venture. This is more a sustainable and also community venture. The whole
Right.
idea is to create a lot of awareness about littering in India and promote a sustainable, living.
Mhm.
For example, you don't need to carry a plastic bag. You can carry a cloth bag. That's what our previous generations used to do. Literally, you don't need to, carry. You can carry your own plate, carry your own glasses. That's what, again, our previous generation used to do. Now we got used to the single-use plastic, which has basically become a big nuisance, and and also a lot of public are not responsible. I think the common sense is something that need to be, drive back to them, because most of them use and drop it back at the location where they eat. So when they can bring it from a home, it's also when the people go for a picnic, they all bring those paper plates. And
Correct.
when they bring it all the way, they can also take it back and trash it in a, in a very dustbin or at home. But they just try to leave it there and go. So that's the problem. So that is where we're trying to, this startup is going to focus on.
You're also the co-founder of Salt March Media. It's the company behind the Great International Developer Summit. Tell me, is it hard to run that, or is it hard to run Plog.run?
It's hard to run Plug.run because it's people involved, so many volume of people involved, and this is something to create awareness. GIDS, the Great International Developer Summit, is more about learning and development. People love to learn, especially it's a tech and deep tech conference, so they love to learn. So it's more easy to run comparatively to a Plug run, because Plug run is something you trashed, and picking up somebody else's trash is a big challenge, and it basically you need to get your ego off and come on road and pick up someone else's trash.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, for a lot of startups these days are coming into sustainable, environmentally. There's this one friend of mine, Rescript. They're making A4 size sheet papers, stationery, basically made out of recyclable papers. How sustainable as a company do you think, not to name any company, but in general, how sustainable and profitable do you think a company can be when their environmentally and sustainability is their key, two pillars of their company?
That's where I think Plug.Run can also help, because the whole idea is to create awareness about these things to people,
Yeah.
so they start using these recycled degradable products, which basically helps the nature. It's definitely going to be a positive effect, and it's going to be a profitable venture. Initially, it is going to take a little time to market it, to get people to understand why to buy a recyclable products. So
Yeah.
important to get that awareness. Any business, the minute you say it's a business, it has to be a profitable venture. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're doing something to solve a problem, entrepreneurship is all about solving someone's problem, right? Either you had this problem and you try to solve it, and then you realize, there are 100,000 people who have the same problem, and solve it. That's all about entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. And you've been an entrepreneur yourself. Would you like to give a message to all the young budding entrepreneurs, maybe someone who's in college or someone who's working their 9 to 5 corporate jobs and they want to take that plunge? What would that one message be to all of them?
Message is, don't hurry, focus. Today, everybody wants a quick result, right? So that is where the problem is, right? So sometimes you need to really work on it, and generally don't give up on anything that you think that it'll work. And if you think it'll work, it'll definitely work. It's all about putting the right resources, right connection in place. If you don't have connection, you have to make it. If you're not in the right place, move to the right place.
Absolutely. Well, Ram, thank you so much for taking some time out and having this wonderful conversation and giving us insights about blogging and how important, saving our environment is, especially with, like you mentioned, Nandi Hills. If I take Bandipur, 10 years back, Bandipur used to be a place where there used to be a lot of plastics. And now with all the changes that they've done, I think this is the kind of a good effect that we need to have in all these places, not just all these national parks, or even in our very own streets and houses. We need to keep it clean and away from plastic. So I think this is a wonderful initiative, Plug.Run. If someone wants to get in touch, how can they do that, Ram?
So they just can go to Plug.Run as a website, and they can log in, create their own event, write to us there in case they need help to handle them for first 2-3 events, and then we'll definitely handle them. And of course, managing your waste is more responsibly is what is required. Don't worry about others' waste. If you manage your waste like that, everybody thinks, I think you'll not have a waste on the road.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you so much, Ram, and have a wonderful day ahead. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much, Rohit, and thank you for driving this message across to the public. Yeah, thank you so much.